Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Sekani, a podcast for people in their 20s who are trying to figure out life and not get lost along the way. Today's guest is Taouss, a meditation teacher, breathwork facilitator, speaker, and coach dedicated to helping people reconnect with themselves from inside out. With over 13 years of personal meditation practice, Tam specializes in Vedic medication and breathwork, powerful techniques designed to regulate the nervous system, build emotional resilience, and support deep healing. What makes Tam's perspective unique is that she doesn't only come from the wellness world, she also brings real entrepreneurial and corporate leadership experience, giving her insight into the pressure of high performance burnout and the need for sustainable well being. Today, we are talking about the science and power of meditation, how breath work affects the nervous system, and how people can build emotional balance in a fast paced world. Tam, welcome to Conversations with Sekani. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I'm really, really honored to be here and talk to yourself and your listeners.
All right. So yeah, I want to start from the beginning of like your meditation journey. So you've been practicing Vedic meditation for over 13 years. So what first led you, to meditation?
Look, initially, I tried lots of different types of meditation, and nothing had really stuck. And at my first time of learning Vedic meditation in particular, um, almost 14 years ago now, I was actually going through a big career change and a pretty messy divorce as well at the time. And I was looking for a way to bring balance back to my life and some clarity. And Vedic meditation was a process that and a technique that was so easy to learn and integrate into my life that number one, it stuck for that reason. But it also was able to allow me not to escape my situation, but start to view it from a different perspective because I was able to step back and every single day enter a space where I could connect with myself, release stress, and come out with clarity.
All right. Well, so yeah, while you're telling us, right, I'm wondering like what is Vedic meditation, right? Because
Ah,
many because
we'll
many people are
rewind.
familiar with like mindfulness meditation, but I've never heard of Vedic medication before, right? So yeah.
Sure, we'll do a little bit of a rewind. Yes, look, Vedic meditation is a really beautiful, simple, easy technique that uses its mantra-based technique.
Mhm.
And it's a over 5,000-year-old tradition stemming from the Himalayas in India. And it's a really beautiful process that uses a mantra that allows you to bring your awareness to a mantra that guides you into a beautiful, deep, transcendental, blissful state. It's not a focused meditation or a contemplation or a mindfulness practice. It's a transcendental meditation. So it takes you beyond thought, feeling, and emotion, and it takes you to a really beautiful, restful state.
All right. Wow. It sounds interesting, actually, right? Sounds like, oh, I like to actually, do something like that, right? Well, yeah, talking about like breath work and like the nervous system, right? You also teach breath work, and what role does breathing play in regulating the nervous system?
What rule does breathing take in regulating the nervous system, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, role, sorry, what role? Look, the breath is so powerful and it's such an incredible tool that we all have for free to use every day. And I think it's underestimated how easily we can change our state and our perspective and the moment that we're in, just by using the breath in different ways. Even the simple act of a slower exhalation than an inhalation completely will help slow down your nervous system to regulate. It's plays such an important role in everything we do. Most people breathe dysfunctionally. They will breathe up in their chests and not use their full diaphragm. And a lot of people are often in that sympathetic nervous state in their breathing that's more activated, where they are in fight or flight without even realizing that they are. So we can use the breath in every moment when we're in that kind of frazzled state, or even if we're not even realizing that we're in that frazzled state, to come back to ourselves. Even if we start to do that quick breath cycle of a slower exhalation when we have a sip of water, or when we stop to eat food, or they're really easy processes that we can integrate into our life.
Right, wow. So, talking about like breath work, right? I feel like it has a lot to do with like emotional resilience. So, how can meditation and breath work help people handle, stress, anxiety, and also emotional overwhelm?
I'll start with meditation. When you're doing a practice like Vedic meditation every day, what it does is, as you dive in, if you're doing it once a day, 20 minutes once a day, it releases the stress from the day before. So it'll come out in all different ways in your practice. You might get a little bit of a jolt, or you could just, sometimes you come out, you might have tears, or sometimes you'll have no emotional feeling whatsoever. But going into that practice alone releases the stress from the day before. Every time we go to bed, we release stress in our sleep, but we still have some stress that's left over that we don't eliminate from our bodies. So especially if we have a bad night's sleep. So that's always carried on into the next day. So when we meditate, we release from the day before. When we go in to do a second meditation every day, we start to release stress that is further back in our history, in our life history. So when we're eliminating all of this stress from our body on a day-to-day basis, it's like going to the gym for your brain, and we are, instead of lifting weights, we're releasing stress, which allows us to be a lot calmer and to function in the world from a really regulated state, which in turn means that we're not going to be as anxious or as stressed, because we're able to be regulated and operating from clarity and more present in our day-to-day. That stillness starts to play out into your day-to-day life, and it creates a much more functionable human. You start to learn, well, you start to automatically respond to whatever is happening in your life instead of being reactive.
Right, okay.
Similarly for the breath, and the breath can be used, we use our meditation for every day, this tool that we use to clear out our stress and clean out our brain every day. But the breath can be used at any point, whether it is for really acute moments of high stress to quickly snap you out of that state and bring you back to regulation, or it can be used in a more, a longer therapeutic setting with someone guiding you to release, even deeper stress. All of these, moments of stress and trauma are held in our body unless we find a way to guide them through our system and learn how to manage them. And the breath and meditation are both really powerful tools to allow us to do that.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you so much for that one, actually. And yes, talking about like meditation, right? There's this myth that, many people they say they can't meditate. So, what are some like common misconceptions about meditation?
Yeah, look, I have so many students that initially come to me and say, I've never been able to meditate. I can't focus. My mind's always busy. I can never sit still. It's a very normal belief that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Often it can be that they have tried different forms of meditation where they've had to focus on something like the breath, or they've had to sit really perfectly still or hold their body in a interesting position. Look, all different techniques might work for different people, but this type of meditation, it doesn't require you to focus or sit perfectly still. It is a lot freer in the essence that we have a mantra that we just invite you in, and that invite into our meditation space. And that mantra guides us to where we need to go. And it isn't something that people have to focus on. They just bring awareness to this mantra coming in and out of their meditation. And every single one of my students has been so surprised how quickly within their first session they've been able to drift into that calm, blissful state, because they're not sitting there focusing on thoughts or focusing on something specific. They're just bringing awareness to something that's helping you guide within. I think meditation is available to everybody. It's just getting the right technique that works for you.
All right. Well, I'm curious actually, like what happens when the brain and the body, let's say when someone start practicing meditation consistently, what actually happens to their body and their brains, basically?
Yeah, look, a lot of changes happen to our brain and our body when we meditate. When we go into this beautiful, calm, blissful state, our brain waves change, and we get into a place where we are in deeper rest than our deepest sleep. So it allows us to recuperate and heal our bodies at levels that we are never ever going to be able to reach when we are just sleeping. So it's a complete rejuvenation of our cells, accelerated every time we go into this deep, restful state. And what it does with meditation is it allows the two hemispheres of our brain to function at the same time, but we are activating them in a way where we have restful awareness. We're not asleep and we're not awake, but we are completely aware of what is going on around us.
Wow. So, let's say for someone who is like new to this world, right? So, what's like a simple practice that we can start with today?
What we can start with today,
Mm.
we could start with a breath exercise that can change your state. There's two things that we can do in our awake state that can really change your state. And one is could be a mindfulness practice, and another thing could be breath work. I can't teach you the full Vedic meditation course in one quick session because it goes for quite a few hours. But in changing your state, and take away that, especially because I know a lot of your listeners might be young adults that are starting out in business or in university, or at all different stages in their careers. And if you're feeling stress arise, and you're finding that you're in a moment where you're going to react and not respond.
Mm.
Quickest thing to change your state is to pause, number one, and just bring awareness to where your breath is at. If you're in conversation and you can't step away to do something, the next step that I'm going to show you, you can simply just take a deep breath in and a really slow, longer exhalation out. And that way you're not going to disrupt the conversation. You're just taking a pause and a breath and slowly coming back to yourself for a minute before you respond. Another thing that you can do to really change your state, if you're able to step away from a conversation or whatever moment you're in, is taking a breath for 4 in, and then we hold for 7, and then out for 8. If you do that cycle 3 times over, you're going to completely reset your nervous system. Even by the end of the second cycle, you will be so much calmer than the first. By the time you get to the third, you've completely reset your state. And you can do this as many times over as you need to, but just that 3 cycle, you'll be surprised how quickly you can change your state. Another thing to take away as well is if you're running like you're nonstop and you need to reset or just to slow yourself down, and you might not have 20 minutes twice a day to do available, or you think you might not, you can just bring your awareness to mindfulness practices. Like when you sit down to eat or you have your glass of water, you pick up your glass of water, you feel it between your hands. Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it textured? Is it colored? Just bring your awareness to just that glass of water in your hands. And then as you bring it to your mouth, how does the water feel as you let it go into your body? And even just taking that 1 minute to bring your awareness to something else other than what's going on in your life is a really quick reset as well.
Right. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And yeah, this conversation has been like amazing, literally. And thanks for sharing your insights on meditation, breath work, and the importance of actually like building a regulated nervous system. Right. So yeah, finally I have this question for you. Right. So when was the last time you intentionally like paused to reconnect with your breath? I just want to know.
And the last time I could pause to reconnect with my breath,
Yes.
oh, I have to be really honest. I've done it twice today. It was just
Mm.
before I got onto the call with you. And prior to that, it was at about 5:30 this morning when I did my meditation practice. I do some breath work before I enter into my practice.
All right. Wow. Thank you for being honest, actually. I just felt like asking that question. I don't know why. And yes, it brings us to the final segment of my podcast. It's called the rapid fire segment, right?
Okay.
Yeah, starting now. Meditation teaches.
What was that? Sorry.
Okay, meditation teaches.
Meditation teaches.
Yeah, what does it teach?
It's one answer in your rapid fire. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
It teaches you to connect with your higher self.
Okay, wow. And yeah, breath work reveals.
There's so many answers to these questions. Just one. It reveals clarity within yourself.
All right, yeah. And a regulated nervous system feels like.
Oh, it feels like joy, calm joy.
All right. And yeah, stress decreases when.
When we have a regulated nervous system and when we take the time to connect with ourselves.
All right. And yes, finally, inner peace means.
Peace. Inner peace to me means full acceptance of what
Mm,
is.
right. Wow. Okay, full acceptance of what is. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Tam. This has been amazing. And where can listeners get to know more about you and what you do?
The best place to find me is actually Instagram, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
at Taouss, so Taouss.
Yeah. And
And
yeah,
on my website, which is tamtaouss.com.
okay, Tam tells the com. So for Instagram, I would be following you immediately after this, actually.
Ah, fantastic.
Right.
Have a
And
look out for you.
okay. So, yeah, to my listeners, thanks for tuning into Conversations with Sekani. If this episode sparked something in you, make sure to share to someone who you think might need it, and also subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes. Thank you, Tam. Do have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.